And we should be live, I think. I'll just wait until I can see the numbers. And welcome everyone. We should be live. We are live from Kingston upon Thames. Let me know in the chat if you can hear and see me properly. If any of you are watching this on replay in the next few days or weeks, if you wanted to skip the hellos and go straight into Tish, can you hear me and see me well? I'm getting a notification that says unable to stream through YouTube. Are you still here? That's weird. Okay, I'm just gonna act like if it was working well. Okay, good. Just a random notification then, because it says good distraction from the bills. That's good. Okay. Yeah, I just had a weird notification twice, basically telling me it wasn't working. But if it is, perfect. I want it to work because I'm quite a long way from home, so I don't want to... Oops, I'm just gonna move out of the way. Oops, sorry.
Whoa! It's not the golf course. YouTube video.
I didn't have the best day today, so people better not mess with me. I'm just not in the mood to have people taking the mickey, so anyway. Hi Mitzi, and welcome everyone that just joined. So we've got about 10 minutes before to go. If anyone was watching on replay, you can still skip the next 10 minutes to go straight into the tour. Oh, it's okay, Tish, nothing major. It's just I had a crazy week actually. I accepted a bit too much work and I had long days of private tours, and every single day something went deeply wrong. On Tuesday, well today, my customers, their pickup never arrived. I don't know if they've made it to the airport. On Tuesday, me and the group went into a pub, a Wetherspoons, and we were all there, 12 of us at the table. Someone managed to take a lady's bag with everything you can imagine inside. 2 pieces of ID, car keys, cash, credit cards, telephone. So we actually saw him on CCTV. We were not meant to see, but the manager actually showed us the CCTV footage. He struggled to grab it, but he managed to get it from between her legs, basically. So we spent the day at the police station and calling the consulate and all that. So yeah, every day something was wrong. Hi Barry, welcome Lethargy. Welcome everyone that just joined. Let me see if I've missed anyone. Hi Roberta, and welcome anyone else that I might have missed. Apologies if I'm a little bit close to the camera. It's just that I'm trying to keep the phone dry. Well, the good news is that it's still raining, but not as bad as it was a little while ago. By the way, I keep getting that little notification that I cannot stream on YouTube, so I'm hoping it's still good. You still here in the chat, so hopefully it's just a little bug. But do let me know if it goes funny. I'm trying to keep the umbrella away to have a bit of light on my face, but... Hi Pisas, IRB, and welcome Anna. Nice to see you here, guys. We've got, let me check. 8 minutes to go. 8 minutes. All is fine, perfect. Thank you, Tish. I don't know why it's saying that. Hi Philippa, nice to see you here. Connection error, it's telling me. What type of connection error? Weird, it keeps popping up. Oh well, just gonna ignore it. I'm still here, perfect. Right, let me see, I can probably go like this. Well, I'm in the dark now. Oh yeah, I could go like this. This way the fun is sheltered. We don't care about me being sheltered. Yeah, Barry, my week can only get better. Just gonna go like this. This way you've got some kind of light on my face and the fun is sheltered by the little whatever it is. It's windy as well. It's not too bad here, but by the river it was very windy earlier. So I do hope it's not gonna be too much of a struggle to keep everything dry. So we are in Kingston upon Thames. Not Kingston, Jamaica, sadly. I wish, maybe one day. But we are, I think it's 12 miles from Charing Cross. It took me a while to get here because the trains were all delayed. That reminded me some fond memories of me working here years ago. There used to be a swimming pool, a leisure center called the Kingfisher just there. So I used to work there as a photographer sometimes, doing kids' photographies in the pool and underwater as well. So especially on a Sunday morning, those trains were always a nightmare, always delayed and cancelled, and I had to run from a platform to the next, and that's exactly what happened on my way here. So I was like, oh yeah, like the good old days. Hi, Genevieve. Oh, your old stomping ground. Did you live here? How long for? It's lovely here, but I wouldn't live here because it's not any cheaper than central London. So, then you'd spend more on a commute and that's it. And Matthew is here. Good to see you, Matthew. How is it going? It's always windy and horrible by the river, says Sarah. Well, it is December. I'm scheduling tours in December, so it is to be expected. I could have postponed. I mean, the forecast was really bad, but if you start postponing a tour because of the forecast, you never really do it in December, so let's get on with it. Oh, Surbiton. Yeah, not far, not far. You'd pay to see that. What did I miss? I managed to miss something already. Ah. Okay. Hi, Laurie. Let's see how long we've got. 4 minutes to go. 4 minutes. If anyone was completely new to me, let me know in the chat. It's always great. Oops. It's always great to see a few new faces. Eye down. And Michaela is here. Welcome, Michaela. So yeah, let me know in the chat if you happen to... It looks like it's stopping. That'll be perfect. If it could stop now, that'll be just brilliant. I don't want to get too optimistic, but... You know what? Let's be optimistic. Let's put... Yeah, I'm just going to put you on the floor for a sec. I'm going to put the umbrella away. This way, it's gonna work. Bear with me. I'm just going to put this away. That'll be brilliant if we could just dodge the rain for an hour. That'll just be brilliant. I don't want to get too excited, but I'm going to put the umbrella away. Let's pray. Apologies for showing you my lovely legs. I'll be back with you in a sec, just putting this away. That'll just be brilliant if it could stay like this. Your rain dance is working. Well, amazing. Keep dancing, Tish, keep dancing. At least a good 45 minutes. We may have a little bit of a surprise by the river, by the way. 54 in Chicago tomorrow. Well, Michaela, at least it's quite warm. See, I'm not even wearing a scarf or anything. So raining, but not cold today. Cool. Let's see what time it is. 2 minutes to go. 2 minutes. And welcome everyone that just joined. I see the numbers going up. So yeah, if you are completely new to me, let us know in the chat. It's always great to see some new names. And Diane is here. Welcome, Diane. And if any of you were watching this on replay in the next few days and you were like, oh, how do I get to see those lives? What you want to do to get notified when I go live, so you can actually join live and participate in the chat and all that. What you want to do is first to subscribe, and then hit the little it says notify me, and then you can select everything or just the lives or whatever, so you'd get a little notification when I go live, and this way you can get to meet the community in the chat. I'm just so happy that it stopped, because it's always a nightmare when you have the rain and the wind. When it's only one of the above, it's okay, but the both together, it's a nightmare to get the umbrella out of the frame, but still get the keep the phone and the gimbal dry. So I'll be meeting Michaela in person on Sunday. She's joining a little tour of mine. Well, a group tour, not my own tour, but a company I work for. If that's something you guys want to do when you come to London, do message me, even if you don't have the budget for a private tour. I can sometimes squeeze you into a changing of the guards tour. Let's see. And it's officially time to start. It is 8 p.m. UK time. Welcome, guys. Welcome to Kingston upon Thames. It is named Kingston upon Thames to differentiate with Kingston upon Hull in Yorkshire, which is now, of course, only called Hull. Right, let's go. Let's flip this camera around and let's start. Now, we've got a lovely little charity shop behind me. And if I show you, so it's quite an old building, and you might recognize something on the facade. I'll zoom in a bit. Oh, there we go. Can you see we've got a little Sun insurance plaque? It's been, it looks like it's been painted over. Usually they're just metal, so it's all white. So some of you might remember, if you followed my tours before, those were of course for the insurance companies. So if your building was insured, you'll place a little one of those plaques on the building. So when the fire brigades, before to have the public one, they worked with the insurance companies. So when you had a fire, the fire brigade from the insurance would come. If you had a plaque, they'll help you out. Here in Kingston, they had some kind of like a steam machine, very archaic, but I'll show you in a moment where it was kept. And if you had no plaque, well, they'll just watch it burn. Well, that's what everyone says, but I read an article recently saying that this was actually a little bit exaggerated, that they sometimes would help anyway. Anyway, let me show you the sculpture that you might have seen on the thumbnail of this video. It's the famous domino-style telephone boxes. It's not actually a modern sculpture. It's almost as old as me. It's from 1987. 88, sorry. 89, sorry, 87, it's me. 1989. It's quite old, and at the time, we still had those working telephone boxes. Today it looks like it's because they've been made redundant, of course, because we all have a mobile phone. But at the time when the sculpture was made, it was still very much in use. The name of the sculpture is out of order, and the artist is David Mash. Now, apparently, it used to be quite well. You see, it's still a little bit damaged, don't it? It probably does need a little bit of a refurb, but apparently the original one was getting really, really bad. It was full of rats and broken windows and everything. So they had already fixed it in 2001. Yeah, they were our mobile phone at the time. Even when I was a kid, I remember having those telephone cards and yeah. Now, some of you might know I like to check my Google reviews because some of them are hilarious. And some of them, you don't quite know if they're joking or not. Let me show you some of my favorite for this one. Oh, there's one more. Needed to use the phone in an emergency after my mobile ran out of battery. To my disgust, all the phone boxes had been tipped over, presumably by some bored street youth. Managed to crawl inside one and only to discover that the phone line was dead. Very disappointing. I'm actually wondering if that might be a real review, because why would they put 2 stars? You know, usually people that are joking, they put 5 stars. And the other one, none of these actually work. So sometimes I don't know if people are actually serious, you know, with those reviews. Anyway, let me remove them and let's go down the street. Although I used to work here every so often, oh, let me show you the Mr. Nutcracker. I never actually spent much time here, you know. I was mainly coming to work and back home. It's a lovely little town. Today it's very much part of London. You know, in 1965, a lot of towns that were on the outskirts of London were actually added into Greater London. So today it's the Royal Borough of Kingston in London. So it's a royal borough. It's one of our 4 royal boroughs, as well as Greenwich, Chelsea and Windsor, of course. Funny either way, exactly. Well, I think it would be even funnier if they were serious. So let's go down into the town centre. There's a bit of a Christmas market, but because the weather was absolutely horrendous, I think some of the traders might have closed already. Well, some of them were already closing when I walked my route earlier. But it's gonna be beautiful anyway. So to get here from central London on a train, it'll be about 45 minutes really from Waterloo. And in the middle of the night, well, I ended up here quite often in the middle of the night when I lived in Clapham Junction, because there's a night bus called the N87 that finishes in Kingston. And I fell asleep on that bus quite a few times. Once I was in a nightclub in Vauxhall with my flatmate and I was really tired. So I left him, I was like, I'm going home. It would have been maybe, I don't know, 2 a.m. And I fell asleep on the N87, woke up in Kingston, waited for the bus, jumped on it again, woke up in Aldwych, so central London, took it again, fell asleep again, and I woke up like a few kilometers from home and I was like, that's it, I'm gonna walk, because otherwise I'm gonna wake up in Kingston again. And when I got home, my flatmate was already home. I was out of battery already, and he was like, oh God, I thought you'd be kidnapped or something. No, I was alive, just sleeping on a bus. Anyway, this is Castle Street. There's no what makes a royal borough? Very good question, Laurie. No, because there's actually no castle here. They need permission from one of the royals. I think I read it was maybe George II that gave him the royal title. But there's no castle here, although this is called Castle Street. It's actually after a guy called Sidney Castle. He had some kind of a shipbuilding company. He was a friend of Samuel Pepys, so no castle here. Now, there's a flat a bit further down the street here, just to show you the prices compared to central London. How much do you think you'd pay to rent this little bedroom in a flat share? So it's just a bedroom, not a full flat. You'll be sharing with two strangers, so sharing the living room, sharing the kitchen. How much would you pay for one bedroom monthly in Kingston on Castle Street? Let me know in the chat, and you'll see it's not that different from central London. Oh, you used to spend time here as well, Shaz? Cool. So, how much would you say for this bedroom in Kingston upon Thames? We're looking for a monthly rent. Oh, Genevieve, you're not far. It's a little bit more, but you're not far. Tish, you know what? You're quite spot on. I'll wait for a few more to answer. Ooh, Sarah, you guys are good. You're getting really good at this game. Down, it's a little bit less. I keep getting that weird notification, but anyway, we know everything is good. A little bit less, Mitsiana, a little less. I'll show you. Where is the answer here? So, 1K, well, tissue, £1 off. So 999 with the bills included, but it's pretty much the same price as it would be in well, maybe a little bit cheaper than central London, but it's not huge. Anyway, I have a great surprise. Look at that. We've got a little invasion of statues from Gillian Mark. I'm pretty sure some of them used to be on the King's Road in Chelsea. It's a bit of a surprise. When I came in October to prepare the route, they were not there yet. They're here only for just a couple of months. So this one is, let's see if we can see the title. It might be a bit dark. So it's the elephant never forget what he learns, and neither did Rabbit Woman. Let's see another one. So Gillian Mark, for those of you that don't know them, they often do those statues of animals that are endangered. So they often try to open people's eyes about what we're doing to the planet and to those animals. And there's another one here. So this one, I'm pretty sure it was on the King's Road a few months ago. Pretty sure I've seen it there. So we've got Dog's Head being a photographer, a couple of paparazzi with their big lenses and their flashes. Oh, thank you, Tariq. Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah. So it's called the Eastern Lowland Gorilla only shoots photos with dogmen. So they're very, very, very popular, Gillian Mark now. They are featured in many different capitals across the globe, really. A beautiful Christmas tree. We'll see another one in a moment. And let me show you the Kingston light up there. It's cool because they've represented the domino telephone boxes. Well, only two of them, but it's quite cool because it's very Kingston. Right, let's go down Eden Street. Now, in 1936, there's a gentleman that came here to buy a boiler hat on this very street because his hat had been involved in a crime scene. That was on Christmas Eve, so that's a very Christmassy murder. the guy actually, well, we had the main character, the victim. He was a jeweler. He had a shop in Surbiton. He was already quite old, and he had been robbed before. He had lost £300, which is it's quite a lot of money at the time. So most evenings he would take with him the most valuable items, all the watch he used to repair and stuff like that. He would take them home to avoid any robbery at the jeweler. And that very morning on Christmas Eve, he went down to work. And as he got to work about 10:30 a.m., he rang his wife. So he had to go next door because the lady next door, she had a telephone in her shop. So he rang his wife, and he told her that he just wanted to let her know and his daughter know that the floor was very icy and very slippery. He had accidentally slept, fell down under, one of those omnibuses. There were those kind of buses dragged behind horseback. But he said, don't worry, I'm absolutely fine. The horse was stopped anyway, so I'm good. But just to let you know, the floor is very icy. And because he had had a stroke before, his wife got a bit worried. So she asked their son, Jack, to go and visit his dad at the shop, just to check that his dad was fine. I rose and welcome everyone that just joined. So Jack was not working anyway. He was a comedian, but he was unemployed, and sometimes he helped his dad at the shop. So he agreed to come and see how his dad was. Let me show you the beautiful street art here with some of the Kingston highlights in the letter. So that's the Kingston Bridge in the Quay. We'll go and see that as well. So Jack comes to his dad's shop in Surbiton to find the door locked. That was very unusual because he was meant to be at work. So he ran back home to get a key for the shop. He came back with the key. He opened the shop. And at the back, they had some kind of a workshop where the daddy would be fixing the watches and all that. And he found his dad on the floor in a pool of blood. He was still warm, but he had been killed. Now, of course, Jack ran to get the police and to get the doctors and all that. The crime scene was quite interesting. There was no fingerprint or none that didn't belong to the jeweler, but there was a boiler hat that wasn't his, and the jacket he was wearing was not his either. So that was a bit odd. At first, and some items were stolen, money and jewelry. At first, the police kind of suspected Jack, because he was unemployed, he maybe needed the money, but was it strong enough to kill his dad? Probably not really. And when so they took the daddy to hospital anyway. He was already dead, but they thought they could save him. And at the very same time, there was a guy that was checked in the same hospital because his hands were injured. He had given a fake name though. And the police started to collect some witness statements. Someone came to visit the shop at 11:45. The shop was locked, but someone from inside said, "Come back in a minute." It was probably the jeweler. I mean, it could have been the killer, but the jeweler was seen outside talking to a young girl a few minutes later. So they concluded that the murder would have happened about 11 a.m. Now, there were a few witnesses that had seen a gentleman walking along the streets with injured hands. And eventually, someone from the witness statement, they recognized their neighbor. So they very strongly suspected a gentleman that was known already to be involved in a robbery. So the guy was asked, of course, to come to the police station. His name was William Thomas Butler. And we'll see some interesting street art in this little way. So we've got the roses already. And when Butler came to the police station, at first he said, no, I've got nothing to do with it. but his hat and his coat had been found on the crime scene. And then he changed his version of the story. He said, "Okay, I did come here. I was hired by a detective, Mr. Reeves. So we've got art on one side and dead people on the other side. So this is actually a graveyard here. So he said, yeah, I've been hired by a Mr. Reeve. I had to drive him here. And then when I dropped him in front of the shop, he asked for my hat and my jacket. I said, okay. And he never gave them to me. Now, the police couldn't find a Detective Reeves anywhere. And they found in the possession of Butler, they found cards, business cards, 13 of them, that read Detective Reeves. And they also found a shop in Kingston Richmond, that had printed them. This one is my favorite. And so eventually they knew he was lying. There was no Detective Reeve whatsoever. So then he changed his story again. He said, okay, I've been into the shop. I wanted to get some money from Mr. Key, the jeweler. He owed me some money. And suddenly he got crazy. He got out a knife. He attacked me. So it was self-defense. I didn't realize I hurt him so badly. And then before to go, I actually swapped my jacket on my hat because they were blood stained. So I took his jacket on run. I only realized the next morning that he was dead. Now the jury found him guilty. One of the ladies in the jury was crying and stuff, but they found him guilty and he was hanged. Now, he was guilty for sure, but we'll never know the truth, because there was another witness that said that very day he had refused a pawnbroker. He had refused to take a watch because he suspected it might come from a burglary. And of course, hello.
Yeah.
You okay?
All right.
Yeah, good. I'm live on YouTube.
What's your name? Channel?
Natalie Kerio.
I will follow you, Natalie.
Cool. Thank you.
You're so handsome.
Thank you. And we'll never know if maybe the police did try to investigate and see if maybe Mr. Key was a receiver of stolen goods. Because if he was indeed selling those stolen goods, maybe he did owe some money to the murderer. But they couldn't find any evidence of that, and actually pretty much every witness said that he was quite straight with the law and would never do that. Why would Butler go there though, if he was not selling any? Or maybe did he refuse to take any stolen goods, and then did he threaten to give the guy to the police? And maybe did he attack him at that point? The thing is, they hung him a bit. They hung the guy a bit quickly, so we'll never really know if somehow guilty of taking some stolen goods. We'll never really know. But anyway, that was a nice little Christmas murder for you. Now, let me show you the beautiful Kingston sign. And so we're still by the side of the graveyard. And see this little building here that looks like a Tudor building with well, today it's actually a Joe Maloney shop. But that was the watchtower. You know, before to have the Metropolitan Police. The Met Police, they actually arrived in Kingston in 1840. At the time, Kingston was not in London. It was a town outside of London, but the Met decided to take care of it anyway. But before that, you had those, those night watch. So the one watching from there would be able to watch over the graveyard over here, as well as over the town to check if anyone was acting suspicious. And it's in that very building that they held, we were talking about the firemen earlier, they had some kind of a very archaic steam machine Well, they still had to find the water, because if they had no water, then they couldn't put off the fire. So that's where they kept the machine. Anyway, we'll come back down, but for now, let's go down the main street to see some more Gillian Mark sculptures. See on the light, excuse my finger, but I'll show you. Over here you see 3 salmons. Those are part of the Kingston armories, really, because they used to have, back down in Saxon times, they used to have 3 salmon fishing weirs on the river, so that's why. And another beautiful tree. Nice. Let's see. I think we've got 4 Gillian Marks here. Oh, 5. Let's go and see. We're not going to go and see them all, but there's the one on the scooter here. Well, let's go and see this one as well. No, not on the scooter. I thought it was a scooter, but it's a turtle. Not a scooter at all. So here is Mrs. Rabbit Lady. I don't know if I saw this one before. I don't think this one was on the King's Road. Or maybe I've missed it when it was on the King's Road. Let's see the title. The Giant Tortoise on the Rabbit Woman. Oh, Rabbit Woman, I've just called her Rabbit Lady. No, Rabbit Woman. Love the sound of the wild. Cool. Let's go to the next. We've got quite a few to see. So here is the next one. I'm not sure if I've seen this one anywhere else either. I don't know where this one was before, but I don't think I have. I think they're just announcing the display in general. That was not on the King's Road. Yeah, that's what I thought. It might have been elsewhere before, but I don't think I've seen it on the King's Road. Yeah, you're right. And here is another. Let's go and see what it's called. Raise Up Rhino. It's a cool one as well. And I think we've got 2 more. There are 9 in total, so I think there's only 1 or 2 that are not on our route. Oh no, maybe just 1. This one I like, because this one you can actually sit with them. So you've got 2 empty seats, so if you want to take a nice little selfie, you can. Oh, that one was in St. Paul's. Cool. I don't think I saw it when it was there. The hippo was hungry to try new things with Rabbit Woman. I like the food as well. They've got the little cupcakes, pears and tea. Unless it is coffee, who knows? And oh, the last one I've not seen anywhere else. I'll show you. It's very cute as well. I think it's a Bengal tiger, if I remember right. Isn't he cute? Let's see the title. Sorry, I'm stepping into a big puddle. So, Cleo, female, age 6 months, titled Wild Baby Bengal Tiger. Nice. So, I'm guessing she's real, like the, you know, when they did the, hold on, let's go the other way because I'm gonna get completely soaked. When they did the chimps, you know, they were all inspired by actual chimps in the wild or in the centers to protect them. So I'm guessing Cleo probably exists as well. Now this is a lovely little Christmas market in a graveyard. Isn't it cool? It's in the graveyard of All Saints Church. I think pretty much everything is closed now. It should be open a bit later, but the weather was so bad that there was no one here earlier. They must have all the traders must have gone. Let me show you pictures of the inside that I took the other day when I came in October to walk the route. So it's a lovely church inside. You have a little cafe, and they had, the day I was there, they had a photography art exhibit. So that's quite cool to have some life inside of the church. Cool. And then let me just move the photo. And let's go down to the market square. Now there was another interesting little, I was going to say murder, not really, manslaughter. Straight ahead you've got a little street called Crown Passage, so straight there. And at the time of George II, there was another very sad incident. There was a young man. I think he was a soldier as well. He was. He had been nicknamed Young Buffs by the king. Actually, he was bragging in that little street. There was the Crown pub. He was bragging that he could defend himself with against a sword with a broomstick. And one of his drunken friends decided to challenge him. He pierced his stomach. Before to die, he actually had time to tell people that it was an accident and that it was a challenge, and that he was the one bragging that he could save himself with a broomstick. So the other guy did not get into too much trouble. But yeah, a very silly way to die. Now this is the market house. It's the former town hall. And let me show you my favorite statue. I hope it's not gonna be too dark because it's a bit hidden by those Christmas market traders, but let me see. So this is not a Gillian mark. It's a goat. It's called Party Animal. The council had a little competition with different sculptures with local artists, and the locals could vote for their favorites. So the favorites would, the winner would win. I think it was £10,000, and they'll keep the statue. And apparently, out of the many statues that were there, 51% voted for this one. So that's quite cool. It's better when it's well lit, but because he's got one of those working men, when you have work thing. So he's a party animal. The artist is Alex Davis. It's very quiet now. I expected a bit more of a Christmas spirit, but everyone has gone home because of the weather. Now look at the facade of Urban Outfitters. It's not actually Tudor. I mean, the sculptures, I think it's from the beginning of the 20th century. Well, 1929 it says there, so that's good, that's right. But beautiful anyway. Traffic cone, thank you, Dawn. That's the term I was looking for. Traffic cone. Now, there was a lady that was burned here. She was burned. She was burnt at the stake. Actually, quite a bad way. Quite a bad way to go. Her name was Margaret Osgood. Oh, actually, let me show you Mario Bros. Why not? He's just here. Margaret was burned because of the murder and treason of her husband in the 17th century. And I was trying to do a bit more research to find out why. Why did the murder qualify for treason? I mean, why would it be treason? And I didn't find out, but I did find out that, did you know that murder used to be spelled with a TH? Like M-U-R-T-H-E-R? Murder. I just found it funny. I had no idea, because when I looked at those old texts, it was kind of weirdly written with the old vocabulary, and they spelled it murder. So you think I say it funny? Well, it's like a ghost town. Yeah, it's not even late. It's 8:30, but the weather was so bad. To be honest, I understand that. Oh no, there's a few people here, so at least we get a bit of the Christmas spirit. And up there you've got Queen Anne. So again, some of you might remember Queen Anne. We spoke about her in quite a few of my tours. She's the queen that had 17 pregnancies and no babies that survive, or not for long enough to rule the country. So we didn't have an heir to the throne, sadly. So that's when they had to go and get cousins from Germany that were your royal cipher we've not seen before. This is it's obviously a fake. It's to send letters to Santa Claus. Actually, yeah, it's a fake. I actually wondered if it could have been a repurposed one, but no, it's a fake. It's not cast metal. So the new cipher, Santa Claus, instead of Victoria Regina or whatever cipher it might be. Now let's go down to get a little bit of a Christmas spirit. It's actually quite a large Christmas market for the size of the town. I had never been here for the Christmas market before, so lovely one. You like the nutcracker? Yeah, so do I. I just hope the music is not copyrighted. I don't want to get a copyright claim. Well, let's see. Hopefully you don't hear the music too much anyway. And here is a reindeer. Behind it, the pub, the Druid's Head. It's one of those old coaching inns. You probably see I'm guessing the gate here would have been for those horse and carriage, this gate here, for those horse and carriages to, hey, a little friend here. Hey mate, do you want to be a YouTube sensation? Come and say hello. No, he doesn't care. So yeah, that's one of those old coaching inns. Today it's a Green King's pub. Now, let's go and see the coronation stone. Kingston had quite a great importance in Saxon times, really, because it was halfway between Winchester and Canterbury. So there was probably the site of a great Saxon council over here. Although the evidence are quite sparse, really. But there's a very interesting stone that was found here in Victorian times that definitely dates to Saxon times. And I don't know, how do I go? Yeah, because there's a barrier here, but I'm fine on this side. Ooh, it's gonna be a bit dark. I was hoping that so when I came earlier, this building here was still fully lit, so it was kind of lighting the stone. It's gonna be a bit dark, but you'll get a bit of a view, a dark view. I was hoping they'll stay. I was hoping people would stay in the office a bit longer just to light up the stone, but hey ho. it's only a stone anyway. So, this lovely little stone, very dark on your screens. I apologize, I was hoping for a bit more light. Well, according to the Kingston Museum and according to many sources, that would be the site where a lot of the Saxon kings got crowned. Did you guys watch The Last Kingdom, the Netflix show? Oops. The Saxon kings, they often have some very interesting names. So allegedly, on this stone, you had the coronation of Edward the Elder. Atelstan was one of them, I think. Edmund, Hildred, Hedwig, Edward the Martyr. The Edwards, that's the only name that we still very much recognize today. And Ethelred the Unready. That would have been the last one. Let me show you what we can see of the bridge. This is actually a very old bridge. It's from the beginning of the 13th century, at least. So that's quite cool. It's the Clattern Bridge. Not yet. Well, it's quite cool. I've watched it a while ago, so I don't quite remember. But I'm pretty sure the King Ethelred the Unready was featured in the show. It's a show about the fights, you know, between the Saxons and the Danes. And it's quite well done. Even the way they speak is, I mean, I think it's quite well done. I could be wrong, because obviously I don't know the way they spoke at the time. It would have been, but I think I liked it. Now let's go down towards the river. Oops, got to be careful here because it's very dark. So we see a bit of the bridge again. It's not very well lit around here, so you won't see much, but yeah, Ethelred the Unready, he was called the Unready because he was a king, and he was actually a very bad king. He ordered the slaughter of a lot of the Danes, and he slaughtered the sister of a guy called Sweyn. And that was the type of people you did not want to slaughter without enraging the Danes, because Sweyn was the son of Harald Bluetooth. You might have heard of him. He's the Danish king that unified Scandinavia, well, Norway and Denmark at least. And it is after Harald Bluetooth that the sharing device technology was named. When they created it, I think it was in the 90s, actually it was not meant to be called Bluetooth, but one of the engineers that created the system, they were reading about, yes, this is live, Disa, welcome. So one of the engineers that created the Bluetooth technology, he was reading a book about the Danes, and they had to find a name for the time being. They were going to rebrand it eventually, but they just called it Bluetooth. And before they could change the name, it had been picked up by the press, and the press loved it. So they kept the name Bluetooth. And even the logo, so the guy was Harald Bluetooth. So in the logo they put, oh, you liked the Ceritod? Yeah, I liked it as well. I don't know how realistic it is, but I liked it. Let me show you. So we don't realize when we see it every day, but so this is the Nordic H for Harald, and this is the Nordic B for Harald Bluetooth. The guy basically had a tooth that was a bit darker. So that's how we got the logo, which I find quite amazing. Where do I usually film? Anywhere, Disa. I try to cover some interesting locations, mainly in London, but I do travel as well. Now you see those beautiful boats on the other side. I have to be careful not to get too close to the edge, because sometimes when when you walk and you look behind the camera, your distance proportion is not quite right in your brain, so it's very easy to fall in the water or to fall anywhere really. I will go all the way till the Kingston Bridge. So the Kingston Bridge was the only bridge west of the London Bridge, really. The London Bridge was known as the London Bridge because it was the only bridge in London on the River Thames, because at the time here we were not in London. It dates back to the 12th century, at least. There might have been one before. And it was used, it was used a few times by rebels or invaders, once through the War of the Roses, and once through the reign of Queen Mary, Bloody Mary. There were some rebels that were getting a bit distracted because I'm waiting for a surprise around here somewhere. Shouldn't tell you in case it's not coming. So yeah, under the reign of Mary the First, Bloody Mary, there was a group of rebels that wanted to cross the Kingston Bridge to go and disturb Mary, and the Kingstonians, they actually managed to push them back and to delay them for a while. Mary was ever so grateful. So that is the beautiful Kingston Bridge. What time is it? Let me see what. I love those decorations on the boat. I don't know if they're private boats or if there might be some of them that are actually like a bar or anything. I never really spend much time around here. Sometimes when my boss would take me for a drink sometimes when I worked at the swimming pool, but that's about it really. I love it here, but it's a bit far, It's the trains, we are in zone 6. So if you were to live here and commute into London, that's quite expensive, really. Although you could, if you take the fastest train, you could get to Waterloo in like 35 minutes. If you do that every day, that's an expensive commute. And if your rent is not much cheaper, there's no point really. Right, let us turn around to see. I can tell you, actually, some of you probably already know, but my colleague Paul from Richmond was gonna try to pop and say hello. But I can check on my phone because my phone is on YouTube. So let's give him a few moments, and if not, we'll finish the tour. Don't ask for a surprise in the dark. Well, it's not really a surprise. I kind of expect him anyway. And actually, it's not that dark here. If it was on the little footpath I just took coming from the stone, they'll be a little bit scared. Oh, what have they done? They're projecting something on the wall here. There was nothing there earlier. Let's see what it is. I'm not gonna go too far because I don't think I've got any signal under the thing. That's nice. I don't know what it's meant to represent, but it's lovely. Cool. Well, we'll finish the tour here. I don't see Paul anywhere, so he might have not made it. Do you guys have any questions before we go? Let me know in the chat. And if not, thank you very much for coming tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you along. And if you want to see a bit more of me, next week we're going back to Soho. So to talk about plague and cholera and Christmas lights. So that's next Wednesday, I believe, and the week after, I've not scheduled it yet. I really need to do so. We'll do the Christmas lights in London again. So the Christmas tour and the creepy Christmas history as well. I wonder if I might have given Paul the wrong location, because I said by the bandstand. This is a bandstand, right? I think those are bandstands. They are. They still do some little music gigs in the summer here. So it's a lovely place to go for a drink or for a walk when there's a band in the bandstand. Have I seen any Charles III post boxes yet? No, there's only one next to Cambridge somewhere in a small town, so I've not seen any yet. Soon. But I've seen the King twice this week. I saw him at the so we had the Emir of Qatar that came on Tuesday. So we saw the King. Well, I saw his big fingers, because sometimes I don't really see his face, but his hands are so big, his fingers are so large that you always recognize his hand when he's waving. And I saw him again the next day in the middle of the changing of the guards on Wednesday. So I've had the double King. He was with some girl, I didn't know. Oh, there is Paul. Where are you, Paul? Yeah, he was with some girl. I wonder if she might have been the wife of the Emir. Or, she had long black hair, so she might have been a guest from the Emir. That was on a Wednesday, but they probably stayed a bit longer. Paul, are you around? Did I give you the wrong location? I think I'm at the right place. Yeah, he's got sausage fingers. But I think it's a condition. I think he's got maybe some blood circulation issue or something that does those big fingers. Thank you, Rose. Thanks everyone for coming. And hopefully I'll see a lot of you next week. Aha! There is the man.
Hello. I'm listening to you.
Most of you must know that one. If you don't, this is Paul.
Je m'appelle Paul. Oh, can you hear me? Have you got your
yeah, it's
on?
here.
Hello,
Yeah.
everyone. Have you got loads and loads of people from all over the world in my hometown? Brilliant, Kingston, Kingstown. I'll leave you to Natalie. I won't interrupt the end of her tour. Sorry.
I was just saying bye-bye anyway. So yeah, lovely to see him. If any of you did not know Paul, he does some amazing music-based tours. So do look him up if that's something that takes you fancy. And I'm gonna let you go, because I'm hoping to go for a drink with that one. So lovely.
Yes.
lovely to have you along again, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Shut up.